Have you ever had one of those days when you are exhausted but just can't sleep? Your body feels tired but your mind keeps running. You wake up with a tight jaw, your shoulders are up around your ears before you've even had your first coffee. You find yourself checking your phone every few minutes, scrolling without really looking at anything. And maybe you tell yourself you're just stressed. But what if there is something deeper happening? What if these seemingly unrelated symptoms are actually signs that your nervous system has been stuck in survival mode for far longer than it was designed to be? In this video, we are going to talk about some of the hidden signs of nervous system dysregulation. Not the dramatic signs everyone notices, but the subtle ones that often become so normal that people stop questioning them. And if you can recognize yourself in some of these examples, don't worry. This isn't about diagnosing yourself or adding another thing to your to-do list. It's about understanding what your body may be trying to tell you. Let's start with one of the most overlooked signs: jaw tension. Many people clench their jaw throughout the day without realizing it. Some grind their teeth at night. Others wake up with headaches, facial tension, neck stiffness, or even unexplained tooth sensitivity. The jaw is closely connected to the body's stress response. When the nervous system perceives a threat, muscles prepare for action. Over time, if that stress response remains activated, certain muscles never fully let go. The jaw often becomes one of those places. I've worked with people who thought they needed a new pillow, a new mattress, or a new dental appliance. What they actually needed was to teach their body that it was safe enough to stop bracing, because tension is often a symptom, not the root cause. Another common sign is shallow breathing, and the tricky part is that most people don't notice it. You don't need to be hyperventilating to have dysfunctional breathing patterns. You might be breathing mostly into your upper chest. You might sigh frequently. You might yawn all day. You might feel like you can never quite get a satisfying breath. Many people are breathing fast, shallow, and inefficiently for years. The body begins interpreting that breathing pattern as a signal that something isn't right. After all, when we are calm and relaxed, breathing tends to be slower, softer, and quieter. When we are stressed, breathing becomes quicker and more erratic. The nervous system and breathing are constantly communicating with each other. The challenge is that this becomes a feedback loop. Stress changes breathing, then breathing reinforces stress, and around it goes. Let's talk about overthinking. This is one that many high performers know very well. Your body is sitting on the sofa, but your mind is running a marathon. Replaying conversations, planning tomorrow, imagining problems that haven't happened, searching for answers to questions nobody asked. People often think overthinking is purely a mindset issue. Sometimes it is, but often it's also a physiological issue. The dysregulated nervous system is always scanning for danger. It's looking for what could go wrong. It's trying to predict and control uncertainty. From the nervous system's perspective, overthinking can become an attempt to create safety. The problem is that it rarely works. You end up spending enormous amounts of energy trying to solve problems that don't actually exist in the present moment. Another sign is emotional reactivity. Maybe you find yourself snapping at people. Maybe small inconveniences feel much bigger than they should. Maybe you cry more easily than you used to. Or perhaps it's the opposite. You feel emotionally numb, disconnected, flat. Both ends of that spectrum can be signs that your nervous system is struggling to find balance. When stress accumulates over time, the nervous system becomes more sensitive. Things that previously felt manageable may suddenly feel overwhelming. This isn't about weakness, it's about capacity. A nervous system carrying a heavy load has less room to absorb additional stress. Now let's talk about sleep. One of the most frustrating experiences is being physically tired but mentally wide awake. You finally get into bed, the house is quiet, everything is done, and suddenly your brain decides it's the perfect time to review your entire life. Many people assume insomnia starts in the bedroom. In reality, it often starts during the day. If your body spends 12 or 14 hours operating in a state of stress, it can't always switch into deep rest the moment your head hits the pillow. The nervous system needs time to transition. Just like a car traveling at high speed doesn't stop instantly, your body often needs a gradual shift from doing to resting. Let's move on to digestion. This is another area people rarely connect to stress. Your digestive system functions best when the body feels safe. The nervous system literally allocates resources differently depending on whether it perceives danger or safety. When stress remains elevated, digestion often becomes less efficient. This can show up as bloating, stomach discomfort, changes in appetite, constipation, or simply feeling like your digestion has become unpredictable. Of course, digestion is influenced by many other factors, but the state of the nervous system is one piece of the puzzle that is frequently ignored. Here is another sign that has become incredibly common in modern life: doom scrolling. You pick up your phone for 1 minute, 25 minutes later, you are still scrolling. You don't even enjoy it, but you can't seem to stop. Many people think this is purely a discipline problem. Sometimes it isn't. When the nervous system is dysregulated, it often seeks stimulation, novelty, distraction, information, anything that briefly shifts attention away from internal discomfort. The problem is that endless scrolling rarely leaves us feeling better. It often leaves us more mentally scattered, more overstimulated, and more disconnected from ourselves. Then there is fatigue. Not the kind that disappears after a good night's sleep, the deeper kind, the kind where you wake up tired, push through the day, need caffeine to function, and still feel depleted. People often assume fatigue means they are not doing enough. Sometimes the opposite is true. Sometimes the body has been working overtime for months or years, maintaining tension, managing stress, suppressing emotions, staying alert, monitoring everything. That constant background effort consumes energy, a lot of energy. And eventually the body starts asking for a different approach. One thing I want to emphasize is that nervous system dysregulation doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't always show up as panic attacks or complete burnout. Sometimes it looks like everyday habits that have quietly become your norm. A clenched jaw, a racing mind, a restless sleep, the shallow breathing, the scrolling, the fatigue, the irritability, the digestive issues. Individually, they may seem unrelated. Together, they often tell a story. So what can you do? Start by becoming aware. Notice your breathing throughout the day. Notice where you are holding tension. Notice how often you reach for your phone. Notice whether you are operating from a place of urgency, even when nothing urgent is happening. Awareness isn't a small thing. It's where change begins, because you can't regulate what you don't notice. And remember, nervous system regulation isn't about becoming calm all the time. That is not realistic. Life will always bring challenges. The goal is flexibility, the ability to move through stress and return to balance afterwards, to shift between effort and recovery, action and rest, doing and being. Your body already knows how to do this. Sometimes it simply needs the right conditions to remember. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments which of these signs you recognize most in yourself. If you like this content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you are looking for exclusive breathwork videos and meditation videos, please visit my Patreon channel.